HMD entered the Android tablet space with the Nokia T20. It's a budget-conscious tablet aimed at small children, as well as kids and teens going to school. HMD is positioning this tablet as a media consumption device that can also handle whatever work you throw at it. The company calls back Nokia's classic reputation for sturdily built cell phones, and boasts the T20's aluminum exterior build. Aside from the 2K display, front and rear-facing cameras, and FM radio, there's also a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a large 8200 mAh battery. Perhaps the biggest compliment we can pay to the design of the Nokia T20 tablet is that it looks more expensive than it actually is. If you hold the tablet in landscape mode with the screen facing you, you've got a power button on the left-hand side, volume buttons on the top towards the left, and a USB-C port on the right. Thankfully, it now looks as though micro-USB has been fully abandoned, even on the cheapest devices. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack here, but it's rather oddly positioned on one corner. We like what Nokia has done with the back of the tablet. It's aluminum, which we like, and it has a nice matte texture to it that feels good on the fingertips. The Nokia T20 tablet is available in one color called Deep Ocean, which is a very dark blue. You can see what it looks like in the photographs accompanying this review. Some more color options would have been welcome, but we've got no real complaints about the one that HMD Global went for here. Finally, it carries an IP52 rating, so it's splash resistant, but in no way fully water resistant. The T20's 10.4-inch IPS LCD screen has a 5:3 aspect ratio and resolution of 1200 by 2000 pixels, protected by conventional tempered glass. The pixel density comes out to a decent 224 ppi. Viewing angles are okay with barely any color shifting, and overall the image quality is very solid for a budget tablet. Everything considered though, it's not a bad screen. It's perfectly fine for browsing the web and watching movies. The maximum brightness of 400 nits is respectable enough, though you're probably going to want to ramp that up to its upper limit most of the time, especially if you're trying to use the tablet in bright daylight. The color balance and contrast are decent. The default wallpaper shows this off pretty well, and while it seems clear that HMD Global has saved some money with the screen, it still largely impresses. HMD promises 2 years of OS upgrades, and 3 years of security updates for the Nokia T20, which is hard to come by in this price segment. The company isn't always the speediest in pushing those promised updates though. This tablet is powered by a popular Unisoc Tiger T610 built on the 12nm process. This chipset has two 1.8 GHz Cortex-A75 cores, and six 1.8 GHz Cortex-A55, and its performance is comparable to entry-level chipsets from Qualcomm and MediaTek like the Snapdragon 460 and the Helio G80, respectively. Graphics are handled by a 2-core Mali G52, which is far from a powerhouse, suggesting some games will come with a graphics quality decrease to maintain playable frame rates. There's a microSD card slot thankfully, and you're probably going to want to expand the built-in storage if you're downloading a lot of podcasts, movies, or whatever else. In addition to the Wi-Fi model we tested, there's also a 4G LTE version. If you're going to keep the multitasking down to a minimum, and don't mind a leisurely speed when it comes to getting stuff done, then the Nokia T20 will suffice. We wouldn't recommend this for any kind of demanding photo or video editing though, or for playing sophisticated games. As for the cameras, you're not the sort of person who takes photos with a tablet, are you? Well, in that case, the Nokia T20 features a single-lens 8-megapixel rear camera. In low light, the performance of the camera is even worse, and this is obviously an area where costs have been cut. The 5-megapixel selfie camera isn't great either, though it'll just about do for video calls. Even so, video is jerky and noisy, so you're much better off using your smartphone or a webcam connected to a computer. HMD Global reckons you can get all-day battery life out of the 8200 mAh battery inside the Nokia T20, 7 hours of online meetings, 10 hours of movies or 15 hours of surfing the web according to the official blurb. That might be a bit optimistic based on our testing, with the battery dropping about 15% an hour during our video test, so that's a total of around 6 or 7 hours. The Realme Pad comes to mind as it has identical display and resolution to the T20. The Nokia tablet has a slightly larger battery, though and an LED flash and autofocus for its camera. The Realme does have a slightly better and wider front-facing camera and a tad speedier CPU. HMD hasn't made a tablet yet, but the T20 is a nice way to reintroduce the Nokia brand into the tablet space. The Nokia T20 is a great tablet that won't break the bank. If you're in the US, the biggest competition in the mid-entry level tablet space is from Lenovo and Samsung. If you're in the EU or Asia, there are so many more competitors from Realme, Xiaomi, Oppo, and Huawei fighting for market share. Overall, the T20 fits the price point in the context of the US market. It's a relatively inexpensive tablet that can do everything you'd need to, whether it's editing something, consuming content, going to grade school, or opening work files. If you need something more productive, you might want to look towards a Chromebook or a tablet that supports a stylus or S Pen. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate every comment from you. Subscribe to the channel. See you soon.